Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello.
So, folks, we have with us our very own number Swandam Anto.
Good looks so good, guys. Mad looks so good.
How has your journey been from Big Bang Theory to 125?
I haven't watched even a single episode of The Big Bang Theory. You basically don't learn anything inside a classroom.
Folks, we have with us our very own number Swandam Anto. We have you. Finally, we have you, and Mangalore has the privilege to have you.
Yes.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Adi. Such a pleasure.
So,
Hi, guys.
how has your journey been from Big Bang Theory to under 25? What's that been like?
My journey has been rather exciting, painful, and stressful at the same time. I think that's what every entrepreneur goes through in their life. But what I'm most privileged about is the fact that I've had a great team of people around me every single phase of my life. What's been very exciting is the fact that Big Bang Theory was just something that I just wanted to mess around and have fun because I was frustrated in college. And I'm sure every student who's watching this knows for a fact that you basically don't learn anything inside a classroom.
Absolutely.
Whatever you learn is outside of the four walls of your classroom. And I'm it's kind of strange that I'm saying this in a education institution, but still I think the truth is the truth, and it's your friends that sort of help you get better at what you do, and it's also the kind of people that you're surrounded by in your college that sort of challenge you to become a better person.
True.
No offense to the teachers and education institutions. I think they're doing a job that they're supposed to do, but our job is to be the best version of ourselves. So
Definitely.
we shouldn't stop ourselves from doing anything but that.
Yeah. So when I first heard of the name Big Bang Theory, were you inspired by Big Bang Theory? Were you born and brought up with sitcoms of?
Actually, to be very honest, I haven't watched even a single episode of
Big Bang.
The Big Bang
Oh.
Theory. But why I chose the name was because I wanted it to be something that everybody related to. Even though I didn't watch it, I just knew everybody watched it. So I was like, the best way to do it is sort of play around with the word that sort of makes sense for the young generation that we are. And I knew that everybody had, kept talking about Sheldon Cooper, kept talking about some 15,000 other characters in the show that I'm not aware of. But I think I grew up watching like Idea Star Singer and a lot of other Malayalam shows on
Asianet.
on Asianet and Asianet movies and Asianet Plus, Surya TV. I think those are the kind of things that I grew up watching. I enjoyed watching something that's very close to my identity as opposed to anything else. So that's probably why I didn't catch on to the Big Bang Theory or any other show as such. But what I really enjoyed about the phase that I had at Big Bang Theory is the name really caught on, so everybody started calling it TBBT, and it was something that created a trend. And it was around the time when the fad around Live Strong bands, which is like when everybody was wearing this yellow band which said
It's very
Live Strong.
popular,
It's
very
very popular. I wanted to customize it, and we ended up selling 280,000 bands. I sold bands to Google. I sold bands to Harvard. I sort of literally took it to every possible college in the country. There were Josephite, Christites, made quite a lot of money. But
And how old were you back then?
I was 17 turning 18. I think
Wow.
just turned 18 at the time, yeah. And that was my first company. I started it off in college. And I think what really worked in my favor was the fact that I was in college. And that's one of the things that I tell everybody. If you are a young person who's watching this interview, my only request and suggestion is please start early, because at least you can mess up 10 times and over, because you cannot do that after having 2 kids and a wife, and one wife.
Was it easy though? I mean, to get people who understand you in this motive and going forward with this motive of building your own thing?
I think the biggest challenge is to, more than other people understanding you, is for you to understand yourself. And that's what people don't get these days. Screw the world. Like, start listening to yourself. The problem is, I don't know many people that I've come across in my life who have listened to themselves. And listening to yourself is the biggest blessing that you can have. And not many people do that because we have grown up into an environment where the value of another person's word is more important than a value of your own word for yourself. So that's why we're a social media generation which wants external validation for everything that we do. Am I saying that you don't need validation? I'm saying you need validation, but there's no point in getting validation without you validating yourself. So start listening to yourself first before you listen to anybody else.
Yeah, that's what this generation is born with this Instagram and Facebook, and they give a lot of importance to this, the likes and comments. Oh, I'm not getting enough likes.
Yeah.
And that bothers them more than them realizing it's we that ourselves, we have to get things out of us and make ourselves better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what's important. So start listening to yourself, and I don't think anything else will start mattering, because people talk, people say, you're doing the wrong thing, you're doing the right thing. But if you know that like you're doing it for yourself, then like it doesn't really matter what other people say. And I've always done things because I wanted to do it, and at least if I failed because I chose that choice. I chose that choice, and it's not somebody else's choice that I failed in. If I was doing any other thing in my life, then I would feel bad and probably blame my parents, saying that because of you I failed. But today, even if I fail and whatever happens, it's always going to be like because of my choices. And when you fail on your own accord, you would have at least learned more than or blame yourself. You will not blame yourself for the process, because you would have learned something by the end of it. And you learn something from everything. You learn something from swiping right on Tinder. You will learn something from swiping right on a course. You learn something from like doing any aspect of your life. So it's very important for you to sort of give yourself a chance to listen to yourself.
Man, these are words to live by. I mean, people can seek inspiration and find inspiration just by watching these videos, by listening to your words.
Yes.
So yeah, coming to the softer sides of things, how proud a Malayali you are, because I've seen your videos, many content based on Malayalam, how proud a Malayali you are, what Malayalis do.
Yeah.
So, how do you listen to Malayalam songs, watch Malayalam movies?
I watch every single Malayalam movie that comes out. I think I spend most of my money watching Malayalam movies. And at some point, I think the aim is to sort of own the identity of the person that I am completely. So the big problem that everybody would have in a country like India is to sort of represent themselves for where they are from and what they stand for. The biggest crisis that we face as a generation is identity.
Yeah.
And I always am of the opinion that I want to tell every young person out there who's like me, who's confused, who's going through shit in their life, in every aspect of their life, and everybody goes through shit. So what I want to tell everybody is start owning your identity, no matter what it is. If you are if you are a person who has a long nose, own that long nose. If you are a person who has curly hair, own that curly hair. If you're a person who's a Malayali and cannot speak great Malayalam, own that shit. So go do whatever the hell you want to do, right? And own it, because just like you, there are a million other people. And unless and until you own your identity, nobody will be able to recognize and truly sort of support you for who you are. The problem is, like I said, people are not owning their identity because they're scared if they'll be accepted. And that's something that I wanted to change. And like, for example, I'm a proud Malayali. For the longest time, I hadn't created content around my identity, but I started creating it because I felt like that's so natural to me. I speak in Malayalam. I watch Malayalam movies. I was born brought up in Bangalore, which has more Malayalis than Kerala. So it's just like, you know, it's a great place for me to be as true and honest as a person. And that's why my show is called To Be Honest. And if I had to be really honest, I'm the most hardcore Malayali you'll ever meet in your life. So yeah,
Anto, thank you for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much.
See you
Thanks
again.
a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.